Welcome. I'm a hiring manager and instructor here at CFPW Wesco Cameroon. Every week, I review dozens of applications for data roles. To show you what actually gets candidates hired, we're going to look at the workflow of Marie. She's a data professional working right here in the local retail sector. Marie manages inventory and sales ledgers for a major chain operating in the heart of Douala. We are talking about tens of thousands of individual daily transactions, spanning hundreds of product categories across multiple store locations. When you first learn Excel, your data usually looks like this: a clean column of numbers. You type equals sum, select the range, and you get your total sales. That is the baseline expectation for anyone opening a spreadsheet. But real-world data is messy, categorical, and vast. If the regional director asks Marie for the revenue generated specifically by the electronics department on a Tuesday, that simple total sum is useless. Before we dig into the raw numbers to find that answer, professional ethics dictate our first step. We scrub the dataset. We strip out all customer names and phone numbers to protect consumer privacy. These 6 functions, if, VLOOKUP, index, match, SUMIF, and COUNTIF, are the core tools Marie uses to handle that complexity. When employers test your Excel skills, they focus on these specific operations to see if you can manage professional-grade datasets. Let's say the chain opens a new branch, and we need to isolate the daily revenue specifically for Yaoundé, ignoring the rest of the country. We solve this using SUMIF. Think of this function as a bouncer at a club door. The syntax has 3 parts: the range it checks, the criteria, or the rule for who gets in, and the actual values to add up. We select the city column as our range. We set the criteria exactly to Yaoundé. Finally, we highlight the daily revenue column. The function filters out every other city and only sums the rows that match our target. Using conditional math lets you extract targeted, actionable insights from a massive central ledger without deleting or altering the original data. Next, we automate decisions. By writing an if statement, we tell Excel to check the current stock levels. If the count drops below 20 units, the cell automatically triggers a reorder alert. To pull specific pricing data from a master catalog, analysts often use VLOOKUP. It works exactly like a physical phone book. You scan vertically down the left column to find a name, then slide your finger horizontally to the right to find the phone number. The problem occurs when your spreadsheet is structured differently. If the product ID is placed to the right of the price column, VLOOKUP cannot search backward. It breaks, returning an error code. We fix this by combining 2 different functions, index and match. Match locates the exact row of your product, and index retrieves the value from that specific position, regardless of whether it sits to the left or the right. Escaping the rigid left-to-right restriction of VLOOKUP allows you to adapt to any client's database structure. Let's test this logic. Pause the video. Using what we know about conditional rules, write the exact formula to calculate the total number of individual transactions processed in the Douala branch. Because we are counting instances rather than adding revenue, we use COUNTIF. We select the location column as the range and specify Douala as the criteria. When I evaluate applicants at CFP Wesco, I look for candidates who can execute these exact logical steps without hesitation. By layering these 6 functions, Marie builds a dashboard that updates itself as new sales come in. Instead of manual sorting, she provides live, readable data to the executive board. Look at this matrix. We used IF for decisions, VLOOKUP, index, match for retrieval, and SUMIF, COUNTIF for conditional math. Rapid fire. Find a value to the left, index and match. Add sales for a person, SUMIF. Flag past due, if. The tech ecosystem here in Cameroon is expanding rapidly, especially in hubs like Silicon Mountain. Companies are generating more data than they have the staff to process. Mastering these 6 functions gives you the technical fluency to manage a store's inventory, analyze regional sales, and provide the hard numbers Cameroonian businesses need to grow.